Hi everyone, Auntie Lexi here. In all my years of playing JRPGs, I've only known one constant. Without memorable characters, a story can feel empty and meaningless. These characters are our portal into the worlds beyond our screens, where every game is a literal isekai moment for us, transporting us into their world. It's through these characters that we connect with everyone they meet, whose struggles and growth we follow, and whose relationships shape the world around them. It's through this lens that I was inspired to take a look at some of my favorite JRPGs and talk about how these characters impacted me in meaningful ways. Which reminds me, if that sounds like your kind of vibe, hit that subscribe button. That way, we can discover more unforgettable characters and games together. And while I'm talking, I'd like to know which JRPG characters have had the biggest emotional impact on you. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear which characters you've connected with the most. I could have chosen any Persona game for this list, but Persona 5, Royal specifically, available on all major platforms, stands out because it questions the very actions that make the Phantom Thieves who they are. Ryuji, Ann, Morgana, and the rest of the Phantom Thieves are stylish, rebellious, and relentlessly fight for the people society fails to protect. But Royal shifts the perspective. It challenges you to see justice through a more complicated lens. Through new characters like Kasumi and Dr. Maruki, the game asks whether helping someone, by force, is truly helping them at all. The villains in Persona 5 expand upon that moral tension. There are 7 major ones, each modeled after a deadly sin. They're inspired by real abuses, and when they fall, they're not just defeated, they're exposed. And it raises the question, even if stealing their hearts strips away their worst traits and forces them to confess what they've done, is what's left still them? Or something hollowed out and manipulated by someone else's hand? That's the uncomfortable brilliance of Royal. It doesn't just ask whether the Phantom Thieves have upheld justice, whatever that looks like. It asks whether the method to achieve this is equally just. Imagine waking up and hating who you were, regardless of what good or harm you did, with no way to undo that. Royal wants you to sit with that idea. Unfortunately, a fuller conversation is too dense to cover in this video. But if anything, this proves that the character and social dynamics of Persona 5 Royal are intricate, bold, and unafraid to challenge the player. And it's exactly that complexity that will keep people talking about it for years to come. Available on all major platforms, Octopath Traveler 2 takes one of the hardest storytelling formats, an anthology, and makes it feel cohesive, personal, and even grand. Square Enix has refined this approach over the years, but here, they went a step further. By connecting the cast in more meaningful ways, each character's story doesn't just stand alone, it enriches the others. You start to notice how their paths shape, challenge, and reflect one another, pulling their arcs into a shared rhythm that makes them feel more grounded and alive. As a result, you care about these characters, not just because of the tropes they represent, but how earnestly they try to move forward, even when the world pushes back. Particcio's kind, generous optimism, Temenos and Crick's sharp Holmes and Watson dynamic, Agnia's big dream of making it as a dancer. Each journey connects with you in a way that plays to the emotional strength of anthologies. Each character's path actions extends the emotional resonance beyond the main cast, weaving their stories into the world itself. Like every interaction is a thread that makes the world feel more alive, more responsive, and full of possibility. That's what makes this traveling tale of unlikely companions the strongest anthology story in any RPG. Available on all major PlayStation and Xbox platforms and PC, Yakuza Like a Dragon moves the spotlight from the iconic Kazuma Kiryu to a new protagonist, Ichiban Kasuga. At first glance, he's an oddball Dragon Quest fan, brimming with infectious charisma. His youthful energy and boundless optimism stand in stark contrast to the stoic, battle-hardened figures of the past. But what makes Ichiban truly compelling is his unwavering loyalty to his found family. While Ichiban may define the typical Yakuza archetype, his journey is deeply emotional. His loyalty to Arakawa, his mentor, and his devotion to his friends form the heart of his story. Adachi's disillusionment with his past, Nanba's search for redemption, and Saiko's quiet strength give Ichiban the foundation to build his own sense of family. In a world teetering on chaos, their bonds keep him grounded. Ichiban's love for his found family is what makes him relatable. His deep commitment to those he cares about makes him a truly compelling protagonist. His optimism is infectious, and people around him can't help but feel energized. Even when everything seems lost, Ichiban refuses to give up. In a world where everything can collapse, his belief in family and loyalty pushes him forward, and that drive makes his journey both gripping and heartfelt. Available on PS4 and Switch, 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim offers a carefully crafted ensemble of characters, with just the right balance of depth and variety compared to other sprawling games. The sci-fi genre is fully realized here, giving the cast, beyond just the 13 main protagonists, a chance to represent a wide range of archetypes and stories that span the entire genre. The game weaves in characters that evoke classic sci-fi vibes. A mysterious leather-clad woman who channels John Connor energy from Terminator, and Natsuno's heartwarming bond with an alien robot she found, reminiscent of E.T. and Mac and Me. These unique dynamics bring a touch of familiarity while still pushing the boundaries of the genre. What truly sets 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim apart is how it cleverly utilizes its 13 protagonists. Each character's story unfolds in ways that pull you deeper into their lives, making you wonder how their paths will intertwine. You become invested not just in their immediate struggles, but in how their choices will shape their futures. And while it lets you choose the order in which you experience the story, it somehow manages to keep it cohesive despite its complexity. The intensity of the narrative, with its twists and turns, ensures you're emotionally invested right from the start. As you unravel the mysteries, you begin to care deeply about the characters' fates, their growth, and how they'll navigate the invasion they find themselves in. Available on PS1 and as a PS1 classic on PS3, Vita, and PSP, many of you have asked me to dive deeper into Xenogears, and here's the perfect opportunity. This game weaves psychological complexity, philosophical depth, and emotional resonance through its multifaceted characters. At the heart of it is Fei Fong Wong, a young man on a journey of self-discovery, grappling with his past to reconcile his true identity. As the story unfolds, Fei's journey becomes a profound exploration of the human experience, where each revelation forces him to confront and reconcile the different facets of his identity. Elheim Ellie Van Houten, a Gebler officer, becomes Fei's ally, exploring themes of duty, identity, and the burdens of her role in a society built on manipulation. Supporting characters like Citan Uzuki and Bart Fatima add rich layers to the narrative, with Citan's wisdom and Bart's leadership offering balance and perspective as they each confront their own personal growth. Xenogears stands out not only for its intricate plot, but also for its deep character development, with each character offering a compelling journey that's unforgettable, making this one of the most emotionally resonant RPGs out there. Available on a variety of different platforms and also remade, Final Fantasy VII is a cornerstone of the RPG genre, blending an unforgettable story with memorable characters and deep emotional stakes. At its center is Cloud Strife, a character whose journey from uncertainty to self-discovery drives the plot, while his companions each bring their own unique perspectives and struggles to the table. The original game sets the stage for a world where a ruthless corporation drives the planet to the brink of destruction, exploiting its resources, while an alien force siphons the planet's life stream, draining it of life. With the release of Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth, the game's most pivotal moments have been elevated, adding new depth to Cloud's journey and his battle against Sephiroth and Jenova. These updates not only expand on the original's story, but also enhance the emotional resonance of unforgettable scenes. Witnessing Dyne and Barrett's showdown, experiencing the tragic birth of a villain at Nibelheim, and revisiting the emotional journey to the Temple of the Ancients are just some of the key moments that are now brought to life with dramatic flair and cinematic spectacle. The remake breathes new life into the stakes, where choices about identity, sacrifice, and the fate of the world feel even more consequential. Final Fantasy VII remains a timeless masterpiece, now with even more layers that deepen its narrative and emotional core, drawing in both newcomers and nostalgic fans alike, eager to relive the journey in a new light. Without memorable characters, the journeys we embark on can feel hollow. It's these characters who paint the world with color, infuse it with heart, and sometimes bring a bit of levity to even the heaviest of moments. I hope this list has sparked a moment of reflection, reminding you of the characters who've left a lasting mark on your heart, and the memories they've woven into your story. Speaking of, I'd like to hear exactly that. Which JRPG characters have been the most unforgettable for you? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's keep it as spoiler-free as possible so that it can pique other people's curiosities. And if you're not already part of our awesome community, come hang out with us on our Discord at dsc.gg/backlogbattle. You can join the conversation, celebrate whenever someone finishes a game from their backlog, and chat about all the other things we love. And if you want to support more content like this, consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/backlogbattle. Your support helps me continue to make videos and dive deep into the games we all love. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.